was following the eye, was following the pack, all swallowed in the coats, with scarves of red tied round their throats to keep their little heads from falling in the snow. And I turned round and there you go, and Michael, you would fall and turn me like snow red as strawberries in the summertime. I was following the pack, all swallowed in the coats, with scarves of red tied round their throats.
Thank you so much for watching today. We are going to talk about autumnal books to read this autumn, as it is October and I'm super excited for this season. Alright, so let's get into it. So the first book that I have on this list is a wonderful book that I saw at Scoop Books in London. It's one of the best stores that I've ever been. I highly recommend it. It is lovely, and it had this book. I was looking through the medieval section and this popped out and I picked it up. It's called The Middle Ages, a concise encyclopedia, edited by H.R. Loyan. An unrivaled source of information, The Middle Ages, a concise encyclopedia, guides the reader through the complexities of this richly covered era, compiled by a team of more than 30 eminent historians, including Rosalind Brooke and Christopher Brooke. Offers a wealth of vivid detail to the entire period, from the turbulent 400s to the Middle Ages, and the first flowering of the Renaissance. So I don't know why, but I've sparked such an interest. I think it's from living in England, obviously. And one thing that sparked my interest in this era was when I went to Solihull for the first time in 2018, and it was the most beautiful small town little city, and nearby that city is a place called Stratford-upon-Avon, I think that's how you say it, and it is one of the most spectacular places that I've ever been. And of course it's the birthplace of William Shakespeare himself, so that's another reason why I loved it. But since I was 20 years old, I've always had an interest for the Renaissance era, and this book is obviously, like it says, an encyclopedia of the whole entire period, and I'm so excited to read it. I can't believe I just picked it up so randomly at the store. I love World of Books. It's one of my great sources of where I get a lot of my secondhand books, and I highly recommend that to anybody. This is going to be a spectacular introduction to learning and studying more about the Renaissance era. Is Fyodor Dostoevsky, The Brothers Karamazov. Oh my god, I've heard about this book so many times. I bought this edition at Barnes & Noble. It is spectacular. I'm already kind of reading through it. I'm only on page 17, so I obviously haven't gotten that far, but this is one of the most spectacular books so far. It's funny, it's so philosophical and deep and debatable, and you could just write so many essays about this book and go on and on. So the next book I picked up first at Waterstones. It was long before I even knew the Pre-Raphaelites. They had this exhibition at Tate Britain, and it was the most spectacular thing I've ever done. Like, I went inside and everything is so beautiful and lovely, and all the paintings from the Pre-Raphaelites, Dante Gabriel Rossetti, his paintings are spectacular, my all-time favorite. But I remember seeing this book at Waterstones, having no interest whatsoever in who this artist was at all. It's just as it says right here, it's a stunner. It really is a stunner. This is Wives and Stunners, the Pre-Raphaelites and Their Muses. I am so excited to read this because I want to learn so much more about the Pre-Raphaelites, because their paintings really moved me. I am so profoundly influenced ever since I went to that exhibition. They only had it till like I think September 24th, so it's not on displays in that like all one exhibition, but I'm glad I went to it. I also made a whole video about it if you want to check it out. In that picture of one of when she's dying in the river, I forgot the name of that one, but that's her name was Lizzie Siddle. I really want to learn more about her as well. Janie Morris to later muses Georgie Burney-Jones and Mary Sambacco, their images were immortalized on canvas, while their extraordinary lives remained largely unexamined. Yet these stunners and their artists wove a surprisingly modern web of friendships, romance, envy, and betrayal. Alongside younger artists such as Edward Burney-Jones and William Morris, their bohemian existence shocked and thrilled 19th century England in equal measure, and the relationships they formed transformed British art forever. Also has images in here. I saw this at Tate Britain. It is so beautiful. The colors are stunning. And a lot of these portraits I saw at the exhibition. Absolutely incredible. And this one, this is my favorite. There's a book that Evelyn Waugh made on Dante. I really want to read that. I really want to get my teeth sunk into everything Rossetti now in pre-Raphaelite era. I'm just like, oh, look at that. So I absolutely am so excited to read this book. Alright, so the next book that I want to read for this autumnal season is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I've wanted to read this book for a whole entire year and still never got around to it, so this year I have no excuses. If you care for journeys there and back, out of the comfortable Western world, over the edge of the wild and home again, and can take place in interest in a humble hero, blessed with little wisdom and little courage, and considerable good luck. Here is a record of such a journey and such a traveler. In following the path of his humble adventurer, you will learn by the way as he did, if you do not already know all these things, much about trolls, goblins, dwarves, and elves, and get some glimpse into the history and politics of a neglected but important period. I'm so excited to read this. I love the cover of this edition as well. This is also secondhand. I think almost every book except for a few secondhand. So the book that I'm currently reading right now is Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I'm so excited to start my journey with the Bronte sisters. Same papers at the British Library. Absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend to do that. Caught in a snowstorm, Lockwood and the new tenant of Thrushcross Grange on the bleak Yorkshire moors is forced to seek shelter at Wuthering Heights. Violence Transgression is a masterpiece of intense, unsettling power. I'm so excited to read this one. This is going to be so much fun. And I absolutely love this cover. It's really pretty. What page am I at? I'm on page 44, so I'm getting there slowly. The next book, fantastic recommendation that I read during the summer, is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. This is a fantastic read if you love any gothic vampire-esque book. This I highly recommend, and of course for a shot of romance. Saved from the brink of death by a mysterious stranger, Constanta is transformed from a medieval peasant into a bride fit for an undying king. Constanta will have to choose between her own freedom and her love for her husband, but bonds forged by blood can only be broken by death. I cannot rave about how much I love this book. It is beautiful, and you see the lighting there, it's just beautiful. That's another book recommendation for you guys. Next, I bought this one at Barnes & Noble. It's called Woman 18 by Claire Coda. I think this painting is so pretty. Do you see that? It is. I loved it. I actually picked it up just because of the painting, and also because when I was in London, I heard about this book so many times, like everywhere, so I was just like, I have to get my hands on it. A young mixed-race vampire must find a way to balance her deep-seated desire to live among humans with her incessant hunger in this stunning debut novel from a writer to watch. This is the praise for it. With wit and a poet's eye, Conde examines cravings, desire, and emptiness. The most unusual, original, and strikingly contemporary vampire novel to come in years. This was a book that I had to buy just because of the cover, and you can see why. It's so Phantom of the Opera vibes. Like, so this is The Vampire and Other Tales by John Polidori. There we go. I'm putting the candle right here because when I put it over there, I'm literally in darkness. So just to make it a little bit lighter, I'm holding it. John Polidori's classic tale of the vampire was a project of the same ghost story competition that produced Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, written in reaction to the dominating presence of his employer, Lord Byron. The story introduced the vampire into English fiction, launching a vampire craze that has never been diminished. So this is the Oxford World's edition. I am in love with these editions. I think they are fantastic. They're great for readers like me who have a hard time reading because I get words messed up all the time. I don't know if it's dyslexia or something, but I have a hard time pronouncing words in my head, like when I'm reading them. I'm sure every reader has that to some aspect, but yeah, anyways, it's gonna be very exciting. This is giving Phantom vibes. This is giving everything vibes that I really would love for the autumn. So yeah, this is a fantastic book. I also have bought in 5 books online that I'm waiting. I was gonna put it in this video, but they haven't come in the mail yet. I will talk about it at the end, but here is the last recommendation that I have physically with me. Hunting Prince Dracula by Carrie Maniscalco. A man impaled by a sharp wooden stake, a young chambermaid drained of her blood. They say it's Prince Dracula, arisen from the dead. I say it's the living, not the dead, we should fear the most. This is the castle that I went to last year. It's called the Bron Castle. Let me show, oh my gosh, let me show you a little bit closer. There, you can see it there. Super excited about this. This is gonna be such an exciting read. I want to read out to you guys the other books that I bought that I don't have physically with me, but I will soon. They're coming in the mail. So just... Okay, so one of the books that I bought online is by Alexander Pushkin. It's Eugene. There we go. And it's also giving Phantom vibes. If you guys are wondering why I am so into Phantom vibes, is because I saw the Phantom of the Opera twice in London recently, so I've just been on a massive Phantom of the Opera era right now. So I ordered this one, so this is one of them, and then I also ordered... The next book that I bought is by Anne Radcliffe, The Mysteries of Udolpho. So it's this one, and I think another one that I wanted to get was The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. And then Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. So love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys love the lighting. Follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. It's at Taylor Twins, twins with 2 T's. I have you guys literally stacked on like a bunch of books right now. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. À bientôt. Au revoir.